Okay, so looks good. Yeah. So in today's video, we are gonna see some frequently used functions in JavaScript as a title of a page suggests. Okay, if you're a beginner, you may have some questions. You may don't know how to add event listeners, yeah, and how to change the content of an HTML element using JavaScript. Yeah. So for that, today I'm gonna tell you some of the most frequently used functions of JavaScript that'll help you do such things. Okay. So first of all, we have a page. Okay. Okay, we have a page. Yeah, we have a page, and we have a script file. So let's import it here. Okay, script src, src, and and let's add a defer attribute here. So uh, it'll render our script file at the end. Okay, and we have to render our script file at the end to make it actually work. Okay, so now let's add two elements. First is div one, where we'll write this div one and more and div two. This we have set a class of the class to dev one and dev two. Now one more thing. Dev one id is id and another one dev two id. This is dev two with this. So now we'll do most of the things using these four elements, and let me run this. Okay, I'm using live server extension. You may also use that if you want. Okay, and you can see these four elements. Okay, now we are in a script.js. So first thing we would do is we would access that element by its id or class. So let's do that. Let dev one, which is dev one class. Okay, we'll access it by its class, that class element. Okay, dev one class element. So equals to, we can do two things to get it. First is document is important. Then get element by id, get element by class name. See this? Or there's one more thing, which is get element by class name, and now its class, that is div. We we can get that element like this, or we can also get that element by using commented out this line. We can do that by control and slash. Okay, these, okay, these slash. Okay, and now there's another way. I told you, yeah, class equals to query selector. You can use, okay, document dot query selector. Sorry, document dot query selector. We will not use this query selector all, as we only want one element of that class. We can use query selector all if there are multiple elements having the same class. Okay, so query selector. Okay, but here we need to add. either a period or a hash. Okay, so period or a hash. A hash is for an ID if you want to get an ID, and a period is for a class. So we want to get a class, so we'll write dev one. Okay, and now we'll get that element. We'll be using query selector. Now let dev two class, okay, equals to the same document dot query selector. No, document dot query selector only one, period and dev two. In JavaScript, there's no need of adding like you can add, but if you won't add, there won't be an error. You won't add a semicolon. Okay, there's no need of adding a semicolon. It's not required. So dev one class, two class, and now let's get these element by ID, which we have given the ID of dev one ID, dev two ID. Okay, so dev one ID equals to the same thing, query select document. Okay, again there's one more thing. You can get this by document dot get element by ID, like I told you, get element by class name, same as that, where you don't have to write any hash or a period. You can directly write the name. So we'll use query selector. Query selector and selector, not query selector all. And here we want to access an element by its ID, so hash dev1 and dev ID and name here, because it has underlined it with a red line, which means an error was there, which meant an error was there, which was the name of these two variables was same. Actually, we were declaring same variable two times because I used let. If I would do this, see, one, see, it's giving an error. There won't be an error because I'm changing that. I'm not declaring it again. And now you've got these four elements on a page. Okay, using query selector, document dot query selector. So now let how can we change the content of these elements? Hmm? Simple, very simple. Dev one class dot inner HTML. We'll use this inner HTML equals to, and we can set whatever we want. Inner HTML equals to, let's say, and yeah, best. Okay, we've changed it. You won't do this. I'm sorry. Actually, two these slashes together. So for me, it's getting hard. Okay, this is the one. So we've overwritten that. You can also add this. Okay, by plus equals to. If you don't know plus equals to, let me tell you what plus equals to does. It is the same job as uh, equals to one class plus the best. Okay, not this. Dot inner HTML. If you'll write this, okay. If you'll write this, it means same as this plus equals to, which means dev one class dot HTML assign it a value in which it will be concatenated with best. Okay, both are same. So if I do this, I'll see best here. I think we can also use one function which is dev class dot append. Okay, that is a method append, and if I'll do best and a space here, it requires space. This will do the same job. You can append something. Okay? So you can use, okay, you can use any of these. Okay? and both of these are same. So this is how you can change the inner HTML. This is how you can change the inner content of an element in HTML. We can do the same for dev2 and all those. Let me do this for dev2. Yeah. Dev2. And you will see a best here. Okay. Now there's one more thing which is console.log. Hmm. I told you console.log. If you've worked in any other programming language, you may know there's a data type known as objects. Okay, and let me tell you how they are. Okay. Let an object one equals to their open close with curly braces and now name those. Okay, it is giving me some, yeah, age 30. Black box. I'm using black box. City New York. Fine. Okay. Wait. Well, I have an object, but what if I want to show this object on a page? Okay, so let me just change the value of div2 class to this object. Okay, there would be there shouldn't be any problem because I'm just assigning it a value. Shouldn't be any problem, but object. It is not showing any object to us. But if what if we are getting data from a page and we want to see that data, we can't show it on the page because we won't be able to see it. Hmm. So at that time where we'll show that data, yeah, that's question. So we'll show that data in the console. So to access the console, right click on the page, click on inspect console, and this is your console. And how to print data on this console? So we'll write console.log and any data which, let's write object one. Let's give it empty but the object. And this can be used many times when you don't want to show the data on the page directly, but you want to see the data. So you can use the console for it. Console.log is not the only command you can use in console. There are a lot of commands. See, it just logged something on the console. What if you want to show an error message? So there's a command console.error, console.error. And see, it's in the cross here. Hmm? You can see it. And there are a lot of commands for it. See, error, warning, you can warn someone. It's like there's a this warning sign here. And info, you can inform someone. This is like this is normal, like that. Log assertion. We have to pass a condition. Example one is greater than true. It's a condition, and if it returns to true, it'll do nothing. But if it returns to false, it will print out something. Hmm. And it is of course false, but it is true. Hmm. Condition is true. So where the second parameter, you have to give it a this object where there will be an error message. Will be uh, condition, yeah, condition is false. Okay, and let's see. It has done nothing because the condition is true. But if I write is smaller than true, message condition is false. Okay, that's what it does. And yeah, that's it. And it comes in this error only. Okay. Now let's talk about event listeners. I've talked about them in a short of mine. You can see it if you don't have a lot of time for that. But I'll tell you it again. I'll tell you about it again. What are event listeners? That listen to the event that is happening to an element. For example, a click. If an event, which if a click is an event. So if I click an element, so that event listener function will listen that, will recognize that event and will do a specific task, will do a given, will execute a given function. Okay, so there are two ways to add event listeners. First is, let's say I want to add an event listener to div one class. Okay, so I can do div one class dot add event listener. See, that's add event listener, and then I have to type the name of the event. Okay, the full screen change, or see, there's one click. There are a lot click, mouse over, mouse out on. Yeah, and for mobile there are different. And now we have to pass a function. Okay, we have to pass a function, and we can use arrow functions or normal functions. So arrow functions are like this is an arrow function. I can write whatever I want in here. And normal functions are, I hope you know about them. If you in function, so see, that's a function statement. Most of the time we use arrow function. Now the arrow function, and we can do see, alert object one name is this and this. uh, Black box is suggesting this, so let's alert the user with this. So whenever an event named click will take place on this div1 class, this function, which means this alert, will be shown on our screen. So whenever I click this, John is 30-year-old and lives in a in New York City. And do you know why? How can we insert this the JavaScript in a string? If you know, gorgeous. But if you don't, let me tell you just super fast. In this str string, if I'll use this, then I write anything, it doesn't matter. But if I use these, okay, this is the this is, you can find this on the this key above your tab. Okay, and here I can write the strings too. But if you've used f strings in Python, if you've worked in Python, you know f strings, so it's similar like that. So in this you have to write this, a dollar sign and brackets, curly brackets, and now inside this you can write JavaScript. For example, object one dot name. Okay, and now after this curly brace, after you've closed that curly brace, you can write normal strings. So is my friend, and I can just alert this here, this string is here. And this John friend, and I can change this, of course. John Ron. This is one event lesson, and there's another way. Okay, of doing so. It's by, see, these are event listeners, so even that you leave lines. It'll it'll be easy for someone to differentiate between them. Now, yeah, have one class dot on click. We can just simply write these name of these events on click, on click, and then we can assign it a function, and the arrow function or any other function if you want. Then again, let's alert it. Hope this will work. Okay, this is another way of doing so. Doing like adding event listener directly, or you can use this one, add event listener, and then this is a simpler and easy way. So I think this would be okay for this video. And if I hope I've not bored you guys. And so thank you. This was all for this video. If you liked it, like. If you don't want to subscribe, don't do some. Yeah, ऐसा बोलना नहीं होता. You don't want. If you want to like, you may. You want to like this video, and that's it. And if you okay, and if you want, if you're a beginner and you want videos like these, after you may hit the bell icon after subscribing to this channel. So this was all for today. I'll see you whenever I'll make a new video. See ya.